Your authentic path. I was walking my dog Nelson yesterday in the park, and I became aware that I was automatically walking towards the usual spot where I've been with him loads of times. Somehow Nelson managed to get my attention. He kept running towards me and then running to the left and staring at me and then running back and forth. I thought, oh right, he wants to go that way. He wants to decide today. So I followed him. And he did look really pleased, bless him. He took me to an area we don't go to very often, where we had a beautiful view over a lake and we were surrounded by stunning autumnal orange and red leaf trees. Okay, so Nelson had no romantic reason for this change of scenery and clearly just wanted to sniff duckshite near said lake. But nevertheless, I had a great view over the whole park from this vantage point and I loved it. As I gazed out from this spot, a reflection presented itself to me of my childhood, and it was this. I did try to give little hints and nudges to my mum about what I wanted to do when I grew up and what I liked. I loved animals and I was very caring and sensitive as a child. I loved drawing and writing stories. I mentioned many things I wanted to do and to be, but they did fall by the wayside. My poor mum had no formal education after the age of 14 and had struggled her whole life in low-paid, very physically tiring and stressful jobs. So to my mum, happiness meant working in an office, in a proper job, in a suit. And since she wasn't able to do that, I had to, as it would make me, or her, happy. So I started to think of impressive jobs, glamorous jobs, well-paid jobs where I could be like other successful and happy people, like my mum told me. And at 12 years old, I remember somebody's mum asking me in the village shop what I wanted to do when I was older. I said I wanted to be a PR executive, and I said it very proudly. And she asked, oh, what's that? I remember very clearly feeling deep shame in that moment. I went bright red, and I didn't know what it was either. She looked at me amused and walked out of the shop, and I was just left to numb my sense of shame and embarrassment in a packet of salt and vinegar crisps and a Snickers bar. And as a side note here, food was already being used at a very young age by myself to bury uncomfortable emotions I had no understanding of. Often we can find ourselves in our 30s and 40s thinking, what the bleep is going on? Why am I doing this job? I hate this job. Why did I even go to uni? I learned all at uni and still haven't even paid off my student loan, which I spent in countless bars, 3 a.m. doner kebab shops and Tesco's. Why are these people my friends? I don't even enjoy my time with them. We start to wake up to that little voice inside because it starts to get louder. That little voice starts screaming in the pillow and is angry and frustrated and bruised and used and wants to cry and tell that Carol, one of the mums in the school playground, to go and herself. And breathe. So, what is going on? We have inherited belief systems from our parents, society and culture, and we have hidden our true selves and therefore our truth until now. We had to. We had to make people happy. We had to conform, be accepted, and to be good, to not cause trouble, otherwise known as telling the truth. We basically learned to look outside ourselves, and it's not anybody's fault. Our parents had to do it too. More often than not, we are living a life based on the fears of our parents. And therefore, we're living other people's lives, not our own. We can keep living somebody else's life and suffering, or we can decide to dig deep inside ourselves and take on the most exciting excavation project our own wee world has ever seen. To be unearthed is the true self, your truth, and the exciting start of your authentic path. I'm very grateful that Nelson made me go a different way. I gained a different perspective, a greater awareness of the validity of another's truth rather than my own, yes, even little Nelson's. And I got to write this. After reading this, perhaps you might find it helpful to grab a pretty book with some flowers on the cover or something to that effect and journal about what comes up for you after having read this article or listened to me reading this article. The belief systems of your family have literally created your life. So, what beliefs are they? Can you examine them in order to see that they are not actually true? What might be truer for you? This questioning of your absorbed belief system can help massively to shift and change your life. When I did this work on myself, I felt so much lighter, more free, and quite frankly, very relieved. Here are just a few examples of inherited beliefs I lived with and started to break down in my own life in my mid-30s. Oh, look how the other half live. This made me believe that wealth was for others and they lived differently than me. Oh, cover yourself up. The body was something to be embarrassed about, to be ashamed of, and being comfortable and free in it was not acceptable. You need to get on a diet. No man likes a fat woman. I had to be thin to be accepted and get a man and be on constant diets. I also absorbed such beliefs as having a generous heart and being sensitive is painful as you get taken for granted and hurt. Life is a struggle. Marriage is hard work and involves lots of arguments and fighting. Honesty will cause arguments. Far better to say and do what others think is best and right. The list is endless, to be honest, and when you've gone through in depth and picked apart these beliefs, you start to have aha moment after aha moment of why you might not be living your life as your authentic self. Self-inquiry can really help your growth and transformation massively. Well, I hope you enjoy finding out more about what you hold to be true. I hope you can break it down and even dissolve it and see what is truer for you. If you find that this is really helpful, then please do share or please leave a comment. It is my mission to help in awakening as many people to their truth as is possible. I really sincerely feel and know that we are all such beautiful people with huge hearts and we all deserve to be happy, but we can't do that unless we wake up to ourselves first. Any help with spreading this information that might assist others would be so much appreciated. Thank you so much.